Hi, I'm Kara Scott, and I'm here with Volkan Cinar, who's one of the most successful sit-and-go players on PartyPoker. And we're going to be taking a look at a sit-and-go that you played earlier today to talk our way through it and figure out, for those people at home who want to be playing sit-and-goes, just how to do that and how to be successful.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'll be honored to help. Yeah.
First of all, let's talk a little bit about you.
Yeah, sure.
How long have you been playing?
Yeah, since 2007.
Wow.
I've been playing full-time multi-tabling at PartyPoker. Just medium stakes sit-and-goes.
What is it about sit-and-goes that you like? Why is that form of poker?
I like the tournament form of poker more than cash game. Mm-hmm. It's more fun for me to play sit-and-goes compared to cash games.
And you've played a lot.
Yeah.
Like what, 30,000 plus or something?
Yeah, I think three and a half year time I play around that. When you do it for a living, when you do it full time, then it's not that hard to reach those numbers in a 3-year period. It is a lot and it looks a lot, but as I said, when you play full time, like 30, 40 hours a week, then it comes to that figures.
Pretty easily, I bet.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
30 or 40 hours a week, and how many tables at a time?
I think since 2008, late 2008, at least I've been playing 12 tables. Wow. I had a few more tables, up to 16 tables. I can manage.
You have to be very quick about your decisions then, don't you?
Yeah, most of the time. But you get used to it. Because let's say you were playing 6 tables, then you're very comfortable with it, and then add another 1 or 2 tables, make it 8 tables, and then play however you are comfortable with it, a few weeks maybe.
It's very important to be comfortable though, right?
Yeah,
you don't want to move up too quickly.
No, not at all, because once you got so many things going on, you start to panic, or just like you can't look everywhere, and then you start to make mistakes. And when you do mistakes a lot, when you're playing 100 sit-and-goes a day, that's going to be costly.
Yeah, it's going to add up, I think. Well, we're going to look at one and focus on one sit-and-go that you played earlier. So what was the buy-in for this, for people who know what level we're looking at?
It was $11 level.
Okay.
$11 buy-in.
We're going to look through every single hand. We're going to show people even the hands that you're folding, just so that they get a flow of what the tournament is doing. And we're going to look at specific hands and pick some out. So let's have a look at our first one. Okay, so the very first hand, we actually lose a player.
Yeah.
What do you think of the ace-10s play there?
I think that was it's a very loose play by the under the gun play. He raised, that's the weak hand to raise from the first position to begin with. Many beginner players, when they see an ace in their hands especially with a big card next to it, they get a little bit excited, but position is so important. That hand is pretty weak. And then after that, the player next to him, he 3-betted. Yeah. 3-bet him. Obviously, he sent a message. He's got a big hand. It was an easy fold for ace-10, but instead he just wanted to go with his own, which was a clear mistake.
So you've passed through 5 hands here, and then hand 6, boom, you've got aces.
Yeah, this is like the best you can hope for. We are in, I think, under the gun +1, we got aces. We obviously, I pretty much 100% raise with it. Right. I don't like slow playing it. Some players choose to limp with it to be more tricky, but it may get you into some trouble. So we made a standard raise, which is 3 times the big blind. I think we got a caller from the button.
So it's nice to get a call because you have such a big hand, and it's great to be playing only against one player, obviously. Yeah. And you want to get maximum value, and I like that you bet all the way through. Yeah,
because we are out of position. We don't know how he's going to react if we check. So I definitely I want to get paid when I have a big hand. I bet 320, he called. There's not much for me to worry about other than if he's got a set, he's got a set. If he made a 2-pair, I would go with my hands.
Yeah.
I already made my mind at this point. So I bet again. I think he shows the rest of his stack, and then our aces hold up, and then we want a nice pot there.
Okay, in the next hand here, it's been passed to you. It's limped to you on the button. You have a flush draw on the flop, but you've timed out. What happened?
Yeah, I lost concentration. It just happens sometimes. I just timed that, and my hand being folded automatically.
Yeah, and something for people to remember when they're playing, always keep an eye on the time bank and try not to have someone, chatting in the room at you, because it can definitely get you in trouble. Right, let's move on to another hand. Hand 9, very next hand, and talk to me about your thinking here. You've folded it to the big blind.
Yeah, I'm on the small blind with blinds at 30, 60. Everybody folded, it's just me and the big blind. It's not a strong hand, queen 2 suited. So I elected to fold this hand. The blinds are so small with the competitive stacks, and then there's no reason for me to fight out of position.
For people out there, they don't have to feel like they have to play, especially this early in a tournament where you say the blinds are pretty small.
Yeah.
Stealing them's not going to get you a lot, and it might get you into trouble. If the big blind calls a raise and then you're playing out of position.
It's not a very nice situation. If you're not very sure of what to do about your hand, you can always fold it.
Yeah, for 30 chips as well.
Yeah.
That's all right. Okay.
So.
All right, well, let's take a look at another. Okay, the next hand we're going to look at here, you've got a pair of 10s, early position, and you make it a 3 times the big blind raise. Is that pretty standard?
Yeah, this is 3 times, but it's pretty standard. If I'm opening a pot, it's 3 times the big blind.
It's funny because sometimes when players haven't been playing very long, when they see pocket 10s, they get nervous. It's like it's a great hand, but they're worried about seeing a flop, so they might put too much in.
Too much of it. You don't have to risk everything on it. So
not getting married to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you get folds there and you take it down. Let's take a look at our next hand. So we're still 8-handed here. The ace 4 under the gun, and you folded it. Some players might get into trouble here, don't you think?
Yeah, this is actually, it looks pretty suited with an ace, but this is a weak hand to play from a very early position. So it's just best to fold, open fold, and then move on to the next hand, basically.
You don't have to play every ace.
You don't have to play, definitely you don't.
Good stuff. You've made your raise 2.5 times the big blind instead of 3. How come?
Yeah, I'm in late position here. I'm basically stealing. I'm just after the blinds. It's a weakish ace. If any of these remaining players, 3 players, if they come over the top, I'll just throw away my hand. So
saving a few chips there.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. Okay.
That's the idea.
So we lose another player in this hand. It's not a hand that you were really involved in, but it's interesting because there's an exit. The button has Jack-9 offsuit. He's obviously counting on the blinds to not have a good enough hand to call him with less than 10 big blinds. He's putting it all in there. Yeah,
that's true. Jack-9 is a weak hand. He's still got, I think, eight big blinds. He could still afford to play a few rounds, actually. This time he was unfortunate to run into a monster, obviously queens.
And he's also got a few hands left to come before the blinds come through him again. So that's something else to bear in mind for a player in that position. Okay, let's move on.
Definitely.
Ace-King suited is a really good hand, especially pre-flop, but your opponent hasn't let you get it all in pre-flop.
Yeah, we make it stand 2.5 big blind raise. I'm happy to play a pot. I don't mind callers. I'm happy to just get the blinds as well. And we got 1 caller from middle position.
And you've elected to check fold the flop.
Yeah, because I completely missed that flop. I might be ahead But if he's got a piece of it, I don't know. I'm not sure if he's gonna fold his hand. If I bet, I won't be able to call a shove after I make a continuation bet, and I have to commit like a significant amount of my stack. So I decided to check, hoping for a check from him to get a free card maybe. But he decided to bet the flop, and I just gave up.
Yeah, like as we say, it's the kind of hand, especially here, where you do want to see all the cards. So getting it in pre-flop would have been nice, but he didn't really give you the option.
Exactly.
So, okay, let's move on to another hand. Ace-10 under the gun here. Considering how low the chip stacks are at the table, were you tempted to shove there?
We are 600 now, 4 players are already out. With these stack sizes, I elected to fold this hand. It's not a hand I always fold it, but usually more often than not, under the gun, first position, there's a still chance of being dominated, like one of the guys. But from the under the gun, I chose to fold it, and I think it was the right play.
So we folded the ace-10 earlier in early position, and now 10-7, shoving here. Talk me through this.
The situation is a bit different here. At that time, as you said, we were under the gun, very disadvantaged position. Now everybody folded to us on the small blind, and I shoved 10-7 suited because we got very similar stacks, and for him to call me, he had, at this point of the tournament, he had to have a premium hand. So in this occasion, I elected to steal the ball. I'm not saying I push every time 10-7 against the big blind, but for this situation, I elected to steal.
Yeah, chances are he won't have a premium hand. I like it.